You are one of the kindest people in your life, and you are exhausted in a way you cannot explain. Not from the work, not from the hours, from the giving itself. 25 centuries ago, Confucian teachers named this trap, and what they warned about it is not what you would expect. May had a reputation in her village for warmth. When neighbors needed help, she came. When friends were struggling, she listened until midnight. She never said no. She told herself this was simply who she was: generous, caring, present for others. But in the quiet moments between all that giving, she felt something she could never quite name. A thin, persistent anger, like a fire that had been covered, not put out. She thought she was tired. She thought she needed more sleep. She did not know she was disappearing. One evening, an old teacher passed through the village. May brought him tea and asked, as she always did, what he needed. He looked at her for a long moment. When did you last do something for yourself that you did not need to explain to anyone? She laughed. She said she was too busy for that sort of thing. The teacher nodded, said nothing more, and drank his tea. She thought about that question for 3 days. She argued against it. She was not selfish. She genuinely wanted to help, did she not? She replayed every kind act in her mind, testing it. Each one checked out. Each one felt real at the time. But the question kept surfacing in the middle of the night. When did you last do something for yourself that you did not need to explain? And she noticed slowly that she could not answer it. Not once in years. Every choice she made toward herself came wrapped in justification. She told herself she needed rest so she could help more. She needed to eat so she would have energy to give. Her own life had become an argument she made to others, even when no one was asking. The kindness was real, but something underneath it had gone wrong. This is what Confucius called Li, proper conduct. On the surface, Li means ritual, ceremony, behaving with appropriate care toward others. For centuries, that translation has been enough. But the Confucian texts go further. Li performed without inner alignment is not virtue. It is theater. True Li flows from a stable center, from someone who knows who they are and what they value. False Li flows from fear of what happens if you stop performing. The exhaustion is not from the kindness. It is from the cost of the performance. May read those words sitting alone by her window. The village was quiet. She stayed there for a long time, watching the light change on the wall. Then she resolved to change. She began saying no to requests that drained her. She protected her mornings, her evenings, her energy. She told herself, this is authenticity. This is what the old teacher meant. But something unexpected happened. Her relationships did not improve the way she had expected. Some people were grateful, others pulled away. And May herself, even with all the new limits in place, still felt hollow in a way she could not explain. She had been performing authenticity with the same anxious precision she had once performed kindness. She had changed the lines. She had not changed the fear underneath them. She went back to the teacher. She told him what she had done. He listened. Then he asked one question. When you say yes to someone now, is it because you want to, or because you're still afraid of what they will think if you don't? She had no answer. This, the classical teachers called shu, consideration. But shu, properly understood, is not self-erasure. True consideration for others requires a self that is not afraid of its own edges. You cannot see another person clearly when you are watching their face to decide who you need to be. She sat with that. And then they went further. Genuine loyalty, zhong, begins not with what you owe others. It begins with what you owe the truth inside yourself. Without that root, all the giving is borrowed from a well that does not refill. She left and sat by the river for a long time. The water moved the way it always had. Not softly, quickly, with direction. It did not ask permission of the banks. It simply moved, and in moving, it gave life to everything along the shore. The river does not give because it is afraid of going still. It gives because it is full. She walked home. She set a bowl on the table. She felt the weight of the spoon in her hand. She made dinner for herself, not to have energy for tomorrow, not to explain to anyone, simply because she was hungry, and she wanted to eat. It was the smallest thing, but it was hers. Months passed, the helping continued, but something in its quality had shifted. When May helped now, people felt it differently. Not performed, not anxious, something warmer and more direct. She still said yes often, but the yes came from somewhere solid. The teacher's question returned to her one afternoon while she was working in the garden. When did you last do something for yourself that you did not need to explain to anyone? This time she smiled. She had done it that morning, and the morning before that. She understood now what she had not understood then. He had not been asking her to stop being kind. He had been asking her to find out what was underneath the kindness, and to make sure it was real. The kindness that exhausts you is not coming from your strength. It is coming from your fear that without it, you are not enough. Truly is not something you perform for others. It is something you live from, quietly, from a center that belongs to you. This is also why gratitude practices so often feel hollow. Performing thankfulness is not the same as living from alignment. That problem has its own classical answer. 1. The next time you agree to something, pause before you answer. Ask yourself one question. Am I saying yes because I want to, or because I'm afraid to say no? You do not have to change the answer. Just notice it. 2. Do one thing today that is only for you, with no explanation attached to it, even in your own mind. 3. Think of someone you help regularly. Ask yourself honestly, do I show up for them from a place of fullness or a place of fear? The answer will tell you something true. What is the one relationship in your life where you feel most drained, and you have never quite understood why? Tell me in the comments. Thank you for watching.